Following the disputed presidential election, clashes have continued in spite of an agreement between negotiators from the two sides to bring the violence to an end. Mr. Odinga said he didn't believe the Kenyan army was neutral.
I'm in Kenya, where Operation Blessing has launched a response to the humanitarian crisis that's sweeping the nation. The disputed December presidential election has sparked widespread interethnic conflict and sent the country into turmoil. It's my first day on the ground. Tomorrow we launch to the Rift Valley region to begin assisting desperate Kenyans who have fled from the violence. At first sight, Nairobi looked calm and normal, but on closer inspection I began to notice signs of the conflict. People were migrating. Tribes have begun to separate from each other. Families are literally packing up their homes and moving to be with their fellow tribesmen.
So here is a family who are having to move out of the slum because they've been attacked. You can see all of their stuff, everything they own really, it's just on the side of the road here.
So far it's been estimated that up to 250,000 people have been displaced from their homes. I visited the site where most of Nairobi's unrest has been occurring, the Kibera slum, right in the heart of the capital. A Christian pastor took me into Kibera to see a school. Half of the classroom seats were empty. The children were either unaccounted for or too afraid to come to school.
This has been one of the flashpoints where lots of violence has been occurring. And the pastor here is taking us to see some of the houses that were burnt down.
Since December, tribal factions have been warring against each other in the slum, burning homes and going on killing sprees. As we walked through the streets, I saw a man with a small coffin on the back of his bicycle. He told us that the coffin was for a child killed by a tribal gang just a few nights ago. We were invited to the city morgue to meet the child's mother, who was collecting her daughter's body. The mother's name was Michaela, and as I spoke to her, the horrific details of her child's death began to unfold. Michaela's husband died last year from an illness, leaving her with 2 children. During a rampage by a violent gang, Michaela and her neighbors had to flee for their lives. In her haste, she could only carry her youngest baby with her as she fled from the attackers. When she returned to her shack, she found 2.5-year-old Mary murdered in her bed. At the cemetery, there were many fresh graves, victims of the recent violence. As little Mary was laid to rest, I tried to comprehend the level of hatred that would drive a human to kill an innocent child. That hatred is spreading across Kenya, and the situation is growing worse. As I watched Michaela weep for her daughter, I thought of all the other mothers grieving in Kenya today, and how many more there might be tomorrow. It was a poignant first day. As we prepare to travel to the Rift Valley tomorrow to begin our relief work, I had a better perspective on the undercurrents that are causing this humanitarian crisis. OB has committed to helping Michaela as she struggles to cope with life in the slum, so check back for an update to her story. And check back tomorrow and for the next several days to see this video diary unfold as OB delivers relief to suffering Kenyans.